Hey everybody, it's Lo and welcome back to my channel, Lo Without Limits. Today I'm going to look back and review my 2019 resolutions and look forward to my 2020 resolutions. So if you want to see that, then just keep watching. So last year, right before the new year, I posted a video of my 2019 resolutions, and this year I wanted to look back on that video and just kind of see what of my resolutions I actually accomplished and where I fell a little flat. I just wanted to reflect on them, see where I could improve, and look forward to 2020. Not only a new year, but a new decade. Like 10 years ago, I'm currently 24, 10 years ago I was 14, in like a freshman in high school. So definitely a lot has happened in the last 10 years, and in the next 10 years I'll be 34. Like so much craziness can happen in that time. So obviously that's super long term, but just for 2020 I have a few resolutions that I think I can accomplish, like I think I can do. So really quickly, looking back on my 2019 one was to practice mindfulness. I mentioned that I don't ponder on the past a lot, but I do get really anxious about the future. I do have really bad anxiety, and I feel like I got that under control for the most part. I mean, of course, like I still have panic attacks and I still feel like anxious and stressed about a lot of things, but I did on my Instagram share a weekly mindfulness tip from the book, The Little Book of Mindfulness, and it definitely helped. They were fun little tasks to do, to try out, like brushing my teeth with my opposite hand, different things like that, and I definitely think it helped me become more present. But of course, that's something that I'm always working on, and sometimes I do get caught up in my head. But overall, I do think that it improved last year in comparison to years before, and it's something that you're always working on it. Like you're always working on being more present, so it is something that I want to continue to do. But it definitely helped, and especially in these last few months, even like with work being super crazy right now, I've felt more calm than I have before. Like I have rain going on, I have work going on, trying to do my YouTube weekly, which now I'm doing it every other week just because of my work schedule. For some reason, I'm less stressed about it now with so many things going on than I was at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, I had all these things going on, and then one thing upset me, like I would break down, or just something would cause a panic attack, and I haven't had that. And I definitely think it's also like who I'm surrounding myself with. I'm definitely like with people that are super supportive and everything too, so it definitely helps, and I feel a lot better about where I am mentally going into 2020. My next resolution was to read a lot. I had the intention of reading a book every month. Did not accomplish that because some nights I would just forget to read. And then over the summer I would lay out on the weekends and I would read a lot more. So definitely depends on the time that I'm putting towards it, but I did read a decent amount given everything that I had going on. So I will list off the books that I read. The first one that I read was Quiet. So that one was about introverts and just like the power of introverts, which I completely relate to. The Power of Now. I also read The Untethered Soul, which I loved. I actually gave it to my mom, so she still has that right now. Woman Code and Beyond the Pill, two books about getting your hormones straight, which is also something that I'm really proud of that I did in 2019. Like my periods are regular now. I feel so much better. I don't feel like I have all these like hormonal imbalances. I'll link a few videos that I made about just like periods and like all of that down below, to eat for it, different things to do, and just like my review on the books and everything as well. So that's definitely something that I'm really proud of that I was able to get a good grasp on through 2019, especially still being in my early 20s. It's something that I want to get a grasp on and like figure out now. That way, you know, 5-ish or however many years from now when I decide to have children, I at least have that under control. So when I do decide to have kids, I can like not worry about like any hormonal imbalances. I also read Everything Is Effed by Mark Manson. It's his second one to The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. My friend Sarah loves Stassi Schroeder, so I took Sarah to the Stassi Schroeder so many S's. The Stassi Schroeder book signing at the Grove in LA. So you had to buy a book in order for her to take the photo with her and everything. So I wanted to go with Sarah. So we got the book, and then it was a super easy read. It was so funny. So I think I read that in like 2 days, just laying out by the pool. When's Happy Hour by Betches. So that one was really focused on career, and it's just like a really easy way to like understand some career stuff. The Sun Also Rises, which I feel like I read a lot of like nonfiction self-help books, so I did want to throw in a little bit of fiction, and it's like one of those classics that you hear about a lot. So I wanted to really like dive into that as well and just kind of like read all those old books that like in high school you hated, but now they're like, when you don't have the pressure to read them, they're actually quite enjoyable to read. So I read that, and I'm currently reading Habit. I bought that book a few years ago, started reading it and like didn't get super far, but I'm reading it again, and it's also really good with resolutions in the beginning of the year to start new habits. And one of them is like a girl who always like goes to bite her nails, and he says to, or one of the studies is to like write a dash on just a cute like a index card every time she goes to do it. So that is something that I really want to do. I have this issue, and it's not necessarily when I'm nervous. I think it's just like a subconscious, like I do it when I'm bored, maybe when I'm nervous, where I always like just do this to my hair or on this side. And I'm surprised I don't have like a bald spot, but like in my car there's just like hair because I'll be driving and like doing this. My mom thinks it stemmed from when after I got in a car accident before my senior year of high school, that when I'm driving I do this more because I'm like nervous, which kind of makes sense. Maybe that's why it started, and then I just do it all the time now, but definitely want to stop that. My mom gets so mad at me when I do it. My next resolution was to work out smarter, not harder, and I definitely did that, especially now I'm only going 2 days a week to the gym, full body days, and then like little things here at my apartment. But before like going into 2019, I was wanting to go every day, just work out, and to where it almost consumed me. And then wanting to do that every day on top of other things also kind of contributes to like the stress and the anxiety of wanting to do all these things. So definitely cutting down and working out smarter, not going as often, but when I do, just having really, really good workouts where I'm targeting everything, definitely helped, and I feel a lot better. So now, even though I am only going 2 days a week, which like I love going to the gym, it's like my me time. Before, like a year ago, me only going 2 days a week would be so stressful, like I'm not doing enough. But now I feel like super fine about it because I know that I'm working out smarter. And I'm actually currently doing MAPS Anabolic, so I can leave a link to that down below as well. It's a really, really good workout program, just like schedules 2 full body days plus some trigger sessions, like stuff at home that you can do. So definitely having a schedule and like a plan written by smart people like those guys is definitely makes it easier to stick to something like that. And then of course I wanted to learn and share more about like nutrition and working out, which I believe I did on my channel. I shared different diets, just different stuff like hormones and like eating certain ways. So I can leave all of those linked down below as well. So that is something I want to continue to do, is like learn the science, research it, try things out, and then share it here on my channel. And I want to work on calisthenics. I did improve my bodyweight pull-ups over the last year. I had some like ups and downs, but I'm feeling pretty good with them now. I still do pull a lot more with my right side because my left side's a little bit lower just from like scoliosis, and I was born a little sideways. So my right side's definitely stronger and pulls more. So I want to improve the look of it. But I feel super great about my ability to do that. I also really, really want to work on a pistol squat, which I still haven't gotten, but in late January of 2019, I actually hurt my ankle snowboarding. I had the board on my left ankle, and then when I was getting off the ski lift, which I suck at, the board turned, so I like turned, and then it's a mess. So something I want to continue to work on in 2020, especially because I am going snowboarding again in mid-February, is strengthening my ankle. But because of that, while I did have to take a lot of time off the gym because of it, I did go to physical therapy, and he had me work on like pistol squat, similar exercises. So in a weird way, me injuring myself did kind of help my pistol squat situation. So I still want to get those down this year. I will, but my little ankle injury kind of threw a wrench in that plan. I also said that I wanted to do a lot of yoga. Did not do as much as I wanted to. Just gonna be honest, didn't do it. And then I wanted to stay on top of my YouTube, which I definitely managed to do in 2019. Besides like December, I posted every single week, and I was so proud that I was able to do that. And even with work being crazy and wanting to do everything, that to manage to get a video out every single week. And of course, sometimes I was like, oh, I have a week off, I'm gonna like batch make a bunch of videos, which definitely helped for those crazier weeks. So I'm just really happy that I was able to stick to that goal and do this. And now I'm over 2,000 subscribers. Like, it's just insane that like the consistency and the commitment to it, like how it's really, really paying off. So thank you to everybody who watches and is subscribed. And if you're not, then subscribe. Like, what are you doing? So that is it for my 2019 goals and just reflecting on those resolutions, and now looking forward to 2020. So sticking to that first one, I do want to try to meditate daily. And saying daily though is just so like I know I'm not gonna be able to do daily, especially at the start. Like once I create the habit of it, maybe I can do like 10 minutes a day, but being realistic, at least I wanna do like 2 to 3 times a week of like really quick meditation and just kind of get into that more. So I'm not gonna say I'm gonna do it daily. It would be ideal, but like 2 to 3 times a week, I would love to get to do. I would also love to travel more. I did travel a lot in 2018, 2017. I went out of the country. And then last year I did go to Ohio to see some family, which was really nice because I hadn't seen them in so long. And this year, even just locally, like I'm not saying I need to go to Europe and spend all this money and like buy an expensive flight somewhere else, but I would just like to travel more. And LA has so many things. Like I've been to Santa Barbara for like a day and a half, but I've never really explored Santa Barbara and just different places like that. So I want to travel, at least in California. Like there's so many places. So to travel more and even just like do like a little weekend trip or like a day trip out somewhere. I did go to Joshua Tree this past summer. So just doing little things like that and just exploring where I'm from. Because like I grew up here and there's so much that I haven't seen and that people come and visit for like a week and see more than I've seen in my 24 years of life. So definitely something that I want to do more in 2020. Of course, keep reading more. I want to cut down on sugar. So instead of like saying like, I'm gonna do this for health and wellness and fitness and everything, something that I really need to work on is my sweet tooth. It controls me. So definitely cutting down on sugar, doing some times of like no added sugar and everything. I did do the no added sugar detox. I'll leave that link down below. That was by Rachel's Good Eats. So maybe just doing a few more of those and training my body. Like I don't need added sugar. I don't need any of that junk. If I really want something sweet, like there is fruit available. So while I feel like I meal prep and I do super well on like eating well, sugar is the one, like it's my weak spot. So if I can just like get a better grip on that, I would be super, super happy. I also want to focus more on skincare. I did do a video on like my face mask and like my new skincare routine. I got a bunch of stuff from The Ordinary and my skin's actually been so much better. Like I'm not picking at my forehead anymore because there's nothing to pick at really. So I definitely want to just like keep that up. And then also I use, a majority of my makeup is by Tarte, which is like natural, vegan, cruelty-free and everything, but I do want to dive more into natural products, not only for like my body and like my skin and my face, but even for my apartment and just cleaning. I did switch to natural cleaners like Blueland, but just to keep that up and to look into it more, I'm now only using like a good natural sunscreen and instead of one with a bunch of chemicals. So just to kind of focus more and pay a bit more attention to what I'm putting in my body, on my body, around my body, and just looking a bit more. And even if it means spending a little bit more, it would be like an investment for my future and for my health in like good, natural, clean, organic products. So definitely something I want to look into more, and even just like using natural products. I did a fun video where I cleaned using food. So just like using stuff like that to clean my apartment versus a harsh chemical. I also have a camera. That is what I'm filming this with. And I got it to do Chapman News when I was in college. And of course now I'm using it here for my YouTube. And I have like the kit lens that's on it. I have like a couple other little lenses, but I also want to get, my sister's gonna order some 35mm cameras from Depop, like one for her, one for me. And I did take a photography class in college using a 35mm camera, and just photography, whether it's with film or with my DSLR, is something that I want to dive into more. I'm not necessarily gonna spend a ton of money on like lenses and camera, all this stuff, but just to use what I have, and even like with my phone. Like I have, this thing has 3 cameras. Like they take pretty good photos. Just to like look into photography more and just like take more photos, be more, and also like help me be more present. Sometimes I go to things and I'm just like, oh, like I didn't notice like all the cool things around. I guess I was present and like not taking photos, but I want to be able to like remember that and like have great photos and just like get into photography more and start paying attention to like all the really cool things around me and like capture that and try to like be more artistic. I definitely want to like tap into like my artistic creative side more. I feel like I'm very analytical type A, and that kind of like quiets any creativity that I have. Like I feel like, oh, like I can't be as creative as this person, so I just don't really try. But that's definitely something that I want to get into more, or even just like try to like learn a little bit more of in 2020. Same with not only photography, but just like design and being more creative. Like I have some watercolor stuff, like doing that even if it sucks, because like I'm not an artist necessarily, but just to like tap into it and like express myself creatively. With photography, art, like I love watching YouTube videos on like graphic design. My reusable products company, I like designed the logo and like the boxes and everything, and just watched a bunch of YouTube videos to figure out Photoshop and InDesign and all these other like Adobe products. And like I have the whole Adobe Creative Cloud, but just to kind of get into that more and like see what I can do and what I can create, because like I love doing that. And last year in January, I actually helped one of my producers on the show I was working on. I did her adoption portfolio, because when you are signing up to be adoption parents, you have to like basically make this little like 30-page booklet that when somebody is interested in you, you give, like they're interested in 5 families, each family will give them this portfolio, and like from there they read the letters, they read everything about them, see the photos, and decide from there. So her and her husband were working on this for months, and like they were so close to it that they didn't know what to do. So she came to me, because I had been doing a lot of graphic design for the show, to help them out. So I love doing that. I love being a part of that. And in March of this last year, they got a baby, and it was just like so amazing to be a part of that story. So just like to tap into that more and like be more creative and like share that is definitely something that I want to explore a bit more in 2020. On the opposite of the creative side is to learn more about like finance and like life stuff. I went to film school. I never really paid attention to like all these things. Like I generally understand loans and mortgage and all this stuff, but I'm in my mid-20s now. It's definitely something that I want to focus on more, especially having a small business. Like I should probably figure out the whole tax situation. So just to get into that more like finance, life stuff, I do have a Roth IRA through Vanguard that I started last year. So while I don't have a ton of money in it, it's just something like planning for the future and like getting a better grasp on like finance and like my finances is definitely something that I want to focus on in 2020. That way it's like those are life skills, and just general life skills is something that I want to really focus on and kind of get a better hold of for my future. And lastly, I know I've shared it a lot on my Instagram and on my YouTube, but I did start a reusable products company. So right now, while I do just have glass straws, in 2020, I really want to grow Rain and just see where I can take it. So I have the glass straws, I'm getting my bamboo straws. I want to do so many other things, and I just want to grow it and like expand it. And right now, while I'm super busy with work, I can't do a whole lot of like the marketing SEO side just because my mind is in so many places. But once I'm off, I really want to like dive into that and just like I want it to like I just have these visions. Like it was literally a dream this time last year, and now it's a reality. And I just want to see, okay, so 2019 was the planning, getting it ready, starting it, doing all like the behind the scenes stuff. And in 2020, I just want to see where it can go. So it's not necessarily like a resolution of like what I want to do or like intend to do. Like I will do it, and I'm just super, super excited to see what can come of it. So if you haven't already, I will have linked down my video all about it and a link to my website. But yeah, like on top of everything like that, I got to practice my creativity and like my business and like my life skills. So it's definitely combining everything that I want to continue to do in 2020 and just focusing on that, as well as like the work-life balance. Like it's another thing that I'm throwing into like all these things that I need to do, yet remain calm and remain present, and just so excited about it. So it's kind of like a physical combination of all my goals and intentions, and I'm super excited to see what 2020 has in store. It's starting off like really well. I feel, while I'm super busy, like really happy, and like I'm in a really good place. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below what your resolutions are and what you want to see on my channel this year. And if you aren't already, be sure to subscribe down below. I do upload a video every Wednesday, except for January. It's kind of like every other Wednesday, but every Wednesday is the intention. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.